Okay, we are live on air. Welcome back to yes, and my phone is telling me all I got to do is win, and yes, I won tonight. I had lots and lots of sex. It's what I do on Saturday nights because I work very hard during the week. So if anybody hears all I got to do is win, yes, that is that is my ringtone because literally all I do is win. I'm a man with a. I checked my credit score today. Just saying, it went up another 10 points, so it went up from an 805 to an 815. Yes, I see we have one viewer right now, and I don't know who that viewer is. It's probably the drag queen. Um, I'm going to start off, and like I said, this is going to be mostly a one-person show. I have a couple people in here with me. I know that Queen, she wants to be in here with me. Black Dot Queen, if you want to follow her on Instagram. She's a wonderful lady. Um, she really, really wants to be in. It's kind of my bad. I had a prior engagement, as I usually do on Saturdays, of a female that I've never once denied the fact that I am a manho, and usually every Saturday I have a different woman lined up. But on the positive side, I'm Josh. The other two people in the rooms are DG and Jason. They're probably not going to talk. Jason, he's 2 feet away from his mother, and DG, he's kind of trying to stay neutral, and I understand that. I mean, he might interject from time to time. We'll see. But what it comes down to is we had a person in our community, and she went by the name Miss Dragon Slayer. And again, she left the community without being told that she had to leave the community. I mean, it came to me saying, if you have a problem with certain things, then fucking bounce. But I never once, tried to kick her out of the community or ever wanted to. I had even said prior to when she left the community, I love Dragon. She just needs to realize that, she's coming off with more testosterone than, 75% of the males in here. And I'm not the type of person that's going to be bullied. When 2 days ago, she and I had a huge blow up. It was because I got tired of her idea of what political correctness was. And her idea of political correctness was, hey, let's love and accept everybody. That's not what political correctness is. Yes, we should be very cordial to the people that are in the community, you know, but we, when it comes to other things, her friends, I don't give a fuck about her friend. Damon or whatever the fuck his name was, he gave a very bad first impression. You know, Showing his ass, fucking grabbing his balls. That's not what you do when you come into a room. It's not what you do when you come into a Google Hangout. It's just not something that it's like, oh, well, you weren't here for the conversation. And I know a guy in here right now, and I know he really can't talk because his mother is a few feet away from him. He was in there for that particular conversation. Um, but nobody else was. So, how would you expect a bunch of heterosexual males in a politically incorrect room to respond to all we see is a guy, you know, half showing, not half showing, full on showing his ass and grabbing his crotch and, his dick's almost halfway hanging out. Does it make me homophobic? Absolutely not. It makes me a heterosexual male that doesn't get off on that sort of thing. And I know my man Jason, and I'm hoping that you have it muted enough to where your mother can't hear it. I know you're a homosexual, and I'm sure that that trips your trigger. That it does, but it doesn't trip heterosexual males' triggers. You have to understand that we are heterosexual males, and we don't get off on that sort of thing.
Understandable.
Understandable. Thank you, Jason. I'm glad you were at least able to whisper that out. We don't get off on that sort of thing. When we see that kind of thing, it's like, what the hell? Are we being trolled? And I know that's the first thing that I thought. I thought that we were being trolled by some person who was spamming his, genitalia in a room. It's just the way it was. And drag queen, and she is with her tattooed ass eyebrows and her size fucking 20 pants. She looks a mess. So when I had to say to her, and I remember Jason originally was part of the room when I came in because she was talking shit about me, not realizing that I had came into the room. So her and I had it out for about, 35 to 40 minutes. And it wasn't so much about, her friend Damon doing that. It was about, hey, you have to respect the fact that, yes, we, the great portion of us are heterosexual males. Do we want to see that sort of thing? It's like, yeah, I'm sure, 95 to 98% of us watch porn, and I know our homosexual friend Jason, if he watches porn, it's probably homosexual porn. But when we're watching heterosexual porn, yeah, the guy's in there. He sure is, but is that the person we're looking at? No, we're looking at the wonderful looking lady who's about to get a big cum fucking surprise on her face. That's just how it goes. And dragon, drag queen, I know you have said, especially in that particular situation, was what? Are you threatened? It's like, absolutely not. I'm not threatened. I have a better body than your friend. But it was tact. It was, it's the certain fact. It's the same thing that it's the same reason why I don't turn on my webcam while I'm doing a live show or while I'm doing the Google Hangout. It's because, while I'm an extreme liberal, I'm not going to, hey, here's my ad. The only time that somebody sees me naked is if I'm having sex with you. And I can tell you another thing. regardless, and I finally, because you have been a total fucking bitch and you couldn't grasp the fact that I was really tired because I had said to you, it wasn't even I had said to you, I had fallen asleep on your ass, and you were, yelling, waking me up, not letting me fall asleep because I was just really tired. And when it came time to be like 11 o'clock in the morning, when you asked me the question, how big is my penis? Again, it's obviously that's a pertinent, question for you to ask. How big's my penis? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my penis is 9.5 inches long. And if you put your middle finger to your thumb and stretch it out by about maybe 2 inches, that's how wide it is. So everybody now knows that. I'm not deleting this video. I'm just telling you I have a big dick. And Dragon, I would rather chop off my dick than give my dick to you. You are a horrible person, and when you got upset because I went off on you the other day because I just got tired of the, shenanigans that you were pulling. Like, it's politically incorrect as long as it's according to Dragon. It wasn't politically incorrect. You made it politically correct. It was politically incorrect as long as it was okay with Dragon. And I'm not cool with that. This is supposed to be a politically incorrect thing. You arbitrarily decide to end the show with nail in the coffin. And yes, I understand we had to get rid of the Kiwis. And I've heard that you were saying that the Kiwis were right all the time. And you know what? Go be friends with them. Honestly, go be friends with them. Were they right all the time? Absolutely not. I have the messages. You've heard the messages. So you can be sorry because you're a Canadian and you don't know how to actually say sorry. You say sorry. And I'm just laughing because, you don't think you have a weird ass accent because you live in the boonies of Canada. You live in Edmonton, and that's not a it's not exactly a metropolis. And you have the gall to talk about American politics when you don't know shit about American politics. You are an outsider. You may have lived in the United States for a couple years, but you don't know shit about American politics. You may think you do. You watch the news, but does that make you an expert on American politics? Absolutely not. I see you, DG. You're sharing screen. Why are you sharing screen, DG? Unmute yourself for a second and answer why you're sharing screen.
I thought you wanted me to pull up the messages, or Queen might do that. Might pull up the messages so
Oh,
we
I
can
have
share.
all the messages, DG. If Queen has a problem or any sort of ridiculous, claim, I can refute every single one of her claims because I have every message. I'm that person. If you have sent me a message in the past, I have that message. I don't delete that message. that message is it's here for posterity situation. It's, if you're gonna dog on another person in the community, it's here. I got it. I will be more than happy to just copy and paste that shit. And that's what you were saying, a few days ago when it came to, we have this 2-to-1 thing going on. It's like, you know what? To be totally honest, Queen, or I'm sorry, I am very sorry, Queen. I love you, Queen. To be totally honest, Dragon, you know, it was Coffee and I. I have the messages. Do I have to be an asshole? Do I have to just spread those messages? Do I have to copy and paste them? Do I have to screen share those messages? I mean, if it comes down to it, that's exactly what I'll do. But you know as well as I do, just like when you were saying when it had originally a couple months ago or a few months ago, you had said, I didn't even really notice or know that I was an owner of the room. It's because you weren't. That was me. That was me talking to Coffee and saying, since we're going to do this, you know, Dragon had tried to do this a couple months ago just with a Google Hangout. Maybe I should try to bring her into this. And she came into, like, she was literally the sixth person. People had come in even before her because she couldn't realize how to operate a Google Hangout. And I was trying to tell her, before that, maybe we should try a Facebook because you don't get how to use Google Hangout. Um, and I have those messages, and if it comes down to it, I will be more than happy to share them. I would rather not. I don't want to make Drag Queen look worse than she is making herself look. But, and then it came down to, finally when I'm just going to say again, I I usually don't talk about what I do for a living. And what I do, yeah, I'm getting another. Yeah, everybody loves me. All I gotta do is win, and I don't know if it's going over the mic or not, but all I do is win. Give it a couple seconds to where it up downs, up downs, up downs. Okay, put your hands in the air, and that's great when I'm actually not on the air. But when it comes down to it, when it really comes down to it, it's, hey, Dragon, why are we literally going into separate chat rooms and then sitting back and being like, nobody's talking? There's a reason why nobody's talking. It's because we're not in the same chat room. You're sitting there saying such and such is on, and I didn't even know that you could look at somebody because it wasn't important enough to me to. It was like, hey, if you want to go into the chat room and say, hey, what's going on, that's what you do. But you were spending all your time in this fake ass chat room and saying such and such isn't saying this and such isn't saying that. And I'm just gonna, and another thing, when Coffee, when you wanted to be promoted to owner, and of course I wanted to be promoted to owner as well, because obviously I was an owner, you weren't, but I was being a lot more cool about it than you were. and she had sent a thing directly from Google, directly from YouTube, stating that it takes 2 weeks to make somebody an owner. And you were going so fucking crazy, so fucking nuts. And Queen's not in here right now, but she knows she was in there during when Dragon was doing that. She was going so fucking crazy. It was hard to understand her because she was yelling so loud. You know, a lot of fuck coffee. I'm not gonna fucking do this. And I'm being subdued when I say this. She was being so loud, it was coming off as obnoxious. And here was me in the background going, hey, she sent the link. I'm looking at it right now. It says 2 weeks. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. And Queen was, fuck giving her or not Queen, but Dragon was fuck giving her the benefit of the doubt because, she's chemically imbalanced. I'm a social worker. I work at a cancer treatment center, and I do psychotherapy, and I do a lot of other things besides just psychotherapy. And if I were to tell you and give my diagnosis of Dragon, she is bipolar. That is, without, that's just easy. Just straight up bipolar. Um, does she need to take medicine? I don't know if she already does, but she needs to take more medicine if she's not taking medicine already, or if she is taking medicine, she needs to take more. She's gone on to say, I remember personally her saying to me that she's a really bad mother and that she should have never had children. And damn right, she should have never had children. She was way more concerned about herself and trying to get more dick in the process, of quote unquote trying to fuck basketball players when she had a child. It doesn't make for a good, a mother daughter. And I understand why her daughter is, 19, but she's moved away at a young age to be away from you, drag queen. She can't be around you, and you have said yourself. And you can be as pissed off as you want to be, but you have said yourself, you are a horrible mother. You were never meant to have kids. And because you decided years and years ago that you wanted to, take a raw dog by a guy that wasn't wearing a fucking condom, you ended up having a kid. And that kid is obviously growing up to despise you. That's why this particular child wants to be away from you, and you yourself wants that child away from you. And she's a really pretty girl, so watch out. She's a lot prettier than you, and I'm sure that pisses you off. Because that's what you wish you still were, and you are not. Especially when you said you are a size 18 to 20. It's like, good God, you are a fat ass. And it's no offense to the obese people that may be listening. You are just, when you're talking about you have your tattooed eyebrows on and you think you're still looking good, and your face has so many city miles on it that it's not even close to being pretty. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, you might have looked good, but you haven't taken care of yourself. That's why I'm 36 years old and I look like I'm 24, 25 because I take care of myself. I make sure I exfoliate. I don't get extreme sun. I don't put stupid ass fucking tattooed eyebrows on my head. And, I know some women do that. And even Queen has told me that she has a family member that did that. But do they look like dragons? Like, dragons look like, oh my God, you know, when she has gone live and she usually doesn't do that, or she hasn't done that normally on a live show, it was like, goo. That is scary. And yes, Dragon, I'm just going to say, because, we're done with you. The politically incorrect people, now that, the nail is out of the coffin and you decided that you arbitrarily wanted to put the nail in the coffin, Dragon, you are fucking butt fucking ugly. You are ridiculous. You get upset about the stupidest things. You are not politically incorrect. You are politically correct. And that's why I said to you the other day, look up what politically incorrect means. This is an attack on women. I love women. I love my black queen. I love my coffee. When they finally when they watch this, those two people, that they'll know what I'm saying. I love them very, very much. They don't go out of their way to have more testosterone than any other member of the male group, and I'm for damn sure not going to let somebody talk over me because I'm an alpha male. And if somebody tries to talk over me, I'm going to talk over them, and I'm going to be smarter than them. And I'm smarter than you, Dragon. Unfortunately, you can't read. You can't read, Dragon. I've heard you try to read articles before, and you skim over words that you don't know. So it's like, this, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, that's not what a educated person does. So you're not educated. You know, you didn't have a job up until a month ago when you finally decided to, I'm going to install Lifeline. And, more power to you. I'm glad that you finally got a job. Before that, when you were claiming you had a job, no, you didn't. So I'm going to just, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up here and just say, Dragon, you know, I'm not even going to say eat a dick. I'm not going to say eat a pussy. I'm going to say grow up. It's time for you to just bow out. It's time for you to just go away. You know, everybody's tired of you. You're the common denominator for any problem that's really ever happened in here. You have gotten into arguments with anybody and almost everybody. So just leave. We don't want you in here anymore. Just go. Be a grown up. You're 40 years old. You have said on constant occasions that, I'm too old for this, that, or the other thing. You are a middle-aged woman. Bow out gracefully. Just leave. You know, Click that little button that says leave and just go. Nobody wants to hear you going off on a racist tangent against Queen telling her that she should know her place, telling her that all that she wants to, have is DNA. And DNA, for anybody that doesn't know what that means, is dick and attention. And that's not what Queen's about. Queen is one of the sweetest human beings that I personally met. I've met lots of women, but through my internet travels, Black Queen is just a sweet, sweet human being. Um, if you want to dog her on her race, I'm not cool with that. Um, DG, I know you kind of want to stay neutral within the entire situation, but I mean, it would come to, me or Jason. I know you have it muted for a reason. It would be like, hey guys, be quiet. The white man's talking. And once the white man's done talking, you guys can talk because I consider you subhuman. It's not a cool way to act. Not a cool way to act. It's I've used the word racist, and I do believe it is racist. But if somebody wants to flat out say, it's not racist, it's damn sure prejudice. For damn sure. So I'm just going to come off on the ending here and say, Dragon, leave the room. You don't belong here. You don't want to be here. Nobody really wants you here. So, kind of bounce. You are a bad influence. You have a negative connotation on everything that's trying to go on in the room, and you're talking just complete utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. And nobody wants to be around that. Nobody wants to be around your down, situation where you are looking at people and wondering why are they in the room, and they're not talking. You have a serious paranoia problem. Just leave. You claim that you have an extreme life. Everybody in here has a life. Everybody has a life. So just leave. Enjoy your life and have a happy one. So just go. There's no reason to sit back and defend yourself. Once you leave, nobody's going to talk about you again. You'll just be gone. And that's all we really want. So click that little button that says leave and just fucking leave. And everybody will be much happier about it. But like I said, I am finishing up this broadcast now. Does anybody? I know, Jason, you're with your parents or your mother anyway, or DG, since you're not with your mother, or even Jason if you
No
do.
comment. No comment. Yeah.
Okay, Jason, I know you're a couple feet away from your mom. I don't know if you are in the bathroom and you have your 4G LTE going on and you want to say a little something. I would appreciate it if you could say a little something, because I know you feel a certain way about the situation too. Everybody does. DG likes to take the neutral position when it comes to anything. I mean, DG is Switzerland.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you fine.
Okay, look at the messages.
Go ahead, man. We can
Okay,
hear you.
okay. Dragon nearly dragged me into this when she said that me and Zichi were with Queen talking bad about her in the old chat. She better be glad that I'm on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
She better be glad. I don't
You
plan
know,
to.
she was trying to bring you into it. She tried to bring me into it. She tried to bring a lot of us into certain things that it was like I was just watching yesterday, and I was like, I never said anything about that. And Dragon was more than happy to bring my name into certain things, to bring your name into certain things, to bring a lot of people's name into certain things. It's, again, I'm going to say, chemical imbalance. From what I heard, she tried to rename the old group, which I'm not a part of anymore. She tried to rename that group Prozac fucking Nation. Um, Number one, being that I'm a social worker, Prozac is one of the oldest antidepressants. You know, I mean, it's from the early '90s. I mean, it's not even called Prozac anymore. There's such a generic formula for Prozac. Um, if you're talking about everybody because you're saying the word Prozac, it, when it comes to if you think everybody in the room is depressed, there are plenty of really, really good new antidepressants, be that they're SSRIs or SSNRIs, and I'm gonna guess that the person that probably needs I'm sure it's not Prozac that you have been taking, but I know you take something and you need to be taking more of whatever you're taking. It's hard to take somebody serious when they haven't slept for 3 days, and when you are telling the person that hasn't slept for 3 days, like, I'm really, really tired, and why they're so wired, I don't understand that. It's like, not only do you need an SSRI or an SSNRI, you may need a tranquilizer as well to knock your ass out, because it is ridiculous, especially at the age of 40, for you not to be able to sleep for days upon days. That's not a normal thing. That's something a teenager can get away with. That's not something that a 40-year-old can get away with and be like, hee hee hee, I'm fine and dandy.
That's
No,
mental.
yes, that's mental. That's a sign of a psychological problem. And yes, that's what I do. I diagnose people, and I am diagnosing you with something very severe. And tomorrow, when I have Queen, and if I can get Jason if he can be away from his family for a few minutes and actually talk a little bit louder than he is right now, even though you could hear you just fine. And a few other people, it's time for you to take your medicine and then bounce, like, leave. We don't want you in here anymore. So why don't you just go? It's plain and simple. Just go onto that click where it says leave and fucking leave. I mean, is that a hard concept? Am I odd for thinking that? It's if you're not welcome and you want to create controversy, that's a fucked, that's a bitch move. which you are a
Well,
bitch.
Josh, I gotta say something real quick.
Yes, by all means, DJ.
She did leave, but Queen had her back after she had her back yesterday. 'Cause I think she said something. Queen probably will elaborate on that tomorrow, but she had her back to that hangout.
Try to give me a little bit more than that, because the
Uh, uh, I said,
last time I talked to Queen, Queen wanted to tear Dragon's throat out with her mouth.
yeah. I'll let Queen elaborate more on this stuff.
No, give me what you can remember.
It was I think she renamed the room, then she left the hangout. Then Queen had her back to the hangout. I guess Queen was kind of upset when she renamed the
Do you
room
know why
again.
she added her back to the hangout, DG? Do you know why that
Uh,
happened?
I think Queen had her back due to her renaming the room and leaving.
It wasn't having her back. It was Dragon saying a really hurtful thing, especially when it came to, Dragon should be the number one person on any sort of antipsychotic and anti-anxiety or an antidepressant.
Yeah, a couple
It
more
came,
things.
it came down to
They
it
remember
came.
they remember Queen end up leaving leaving that hangout then.
She did, and she went back in because she
Well,
was angry.
no. She was upset. She wanted me to add her back to that hangout because she had
I know,
some more
I
stuff to
know.
say to Dragon.
She was still really angry, and that's the thing that I've been trying to say.
That's why I added her back in so she can where they can where what's going on then they can discuss it instead of having
But is there?
from
It
two
really never
sides.
turned out to be a discussion.
No, it was just
It just turned out to be back and forth.
yeah,
Um, you know,
yeah,
Drag queen was being racist, and yes, I'm gonna be completely honest. Did Queen call her a racist white bitch? Yes, she did. Did Drag Queen deserve that? Absolutely. She had told my beautiful black queen that she needs to know her place and not talk when, just read between the lines. Know your place and not talk when a white woman's talking. It would be the same thing, DG. It would be the same
No,
thing if I were to say,
heard you earlier. I was just saying Queen probably gonna elaborate all the message and stuff.
and she will.
I kind of
She will.
glanced through the message when they were having the spat yesterday, then the spat earlier. I kind of glanced through the message on then that's what
You
they
have to
could.
understand though, and I'm just gonna lay the scenario out one more time. Um, say it's me and you. I'm white, obviously. You're black, obviously, and you and I were, going at it in the room, which foreseeably that's never going to happen because I love you, DG, and regardless, I love everybody, and I even love Dragon, and I don't understand why just couldn't have she just couldn't calm down and just relax and just decide, not everything's going to be my way. But I digress. If it was you and I, DG, and we were going at it in a room in a Google Hangout, if we weren't live, if we were just like talking to each other, or I'm sorry, it was more than talking to each other, if we were yelling at each other, and I came at you telling DG, know not know your role, but know your place. It would make me, and it, not only because if I said something like that, it wouldn't be so much no, it wouldn't be a racist statement because it was what it had was said what it said. It would be like, no, that was really a racist statement. I mean, if I told you, DG, and I want you to unmute your mic for 1 second. If I told you to know your place, you would be like, Josh is a fucking racist. It's because why the white man's talking, and for you to know your place. And that goes the same thing with you, Jason. The white man's talking. So you and your spick ass needs to shut the fuck up. And until the white man's done talking, you guys need to shut the fuck up. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about everybody gets an equal opportunity to say whatever the hell they want to say. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm talking to both of you. Correct me. If I had said something like that, would you not feel a certain way?
Yeah, I probably would be a little upset. I'm saying, probably be like, that came from my left field. It kind
Left
of,
field, would you not sit back and be like, yeah, Josh might be a little racist?
yeah, a little bit. I probably feel just a little bit. Then,
Yeah, if I told you to know your place, like know your place, like let's just sit back and think about that. When somebody tells somebody to know their place, is that not somebody telling somebody that I am above you and you're below me?
yeah, probably be considered kind of. I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't
It's
know.
not
It's
just borderline racist. That's just racist as fuck.
it also could be on the trying to de 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 trying to trying to de def.
Go ahead,
I'm talking
man.
about
No, just
de
calm your thoughts and just say what you need to say.
I was trying to say I'm trying to de fresh. Yeah. I'm trying. Yeah, I know the word. 'Cause I know it's
No, I understand. I
differentiate.
understand what you're trying to say, DG. But
Trying to
just
know the difference. Trying to know.
calm your brain, and just talk, man.
Uh,
It's not a I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm not trying to sit back here and say this is what you need to say. It's me saying calm your mind and just talk the way you would to one of your homeboys because that's what I am.
yeah. It's basically trying to know the difference between being racist and prejudice. 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 Yes.
Prejudice.
Yeah, prejudice. Yeah, that I got tongue tied. I know the words. I know these words are like I don't know why I
I know
did
you
that.
do, and that's the thing. That's the thing with the stutter is sometimes, and a lot of times when somebody has a stutter, they think faster than they talk, and that's why it
I generally
doesn't come out.
I generally think before I speak at the time. Yeah, because it's kind of trying to know the difference between those two words because it's kind of like
No, and I understand
people tend to mix
sometimes
up the
when people
words. That's probably why.
And when somebody has a stutter, I understand that sometimes their brain is thinking faster than how their mouth is actually saying the words that they want to say, and that's why the stutter happens. It's another thing that I deal with. It's another thing that I work with. I, I work in the medical field. I've given you shit in the past before, but DG, you have to understand that whatever I have, whatever I have said about you, and I have said this before, whatever I have said about you in the past, I don't actually mean any of that because I have to be a compassionate person in my line of work. Like, I know how a stutter works. I know you have a stutter. I know that when it comes down to when you want to talk, sometimes your brain is thinking faster than your mouth. And that's why you stutter. And could you get help with that? Sure. Could I give you help with that? Absolutely. Could you get help with it locally? Absolutely. But regardless of that, go back to what you were saying, man. I'm not just, like I said, calm down.
That based the point I'm trying to get out. Just know the difference between prejudice, prejudice and racism. Yeah,
They're
that's all
both
based.
really bad, DJ.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But people tend to mix up those words, so it's kind of like
They do. They do. You're absolutely right. And they're both really bad, though, regardless if you're prejudiced or if you're racist. And what Dragon was saying, it was borderline racist, and if it wasn't racist, it was definitely prejudiced. And that's not the type of person that we need in a politically incorrect community. So that's why I called again for her to be a woman and just excuse yourself from the entire situation. And if you do, drag queen, if you do excuse yourself from the situation, nobody's going to add you back. Nobody will. I promise nobody's going to add you back. Nobody wants you here anymore. You are a horrible, despicable human being. So leave. Enjoy your loneliness in Canada and enjoy not having any friends. Enjoy that. But please, don't bring your misery into this situation where you need to literally, and I saw the messages that you were sending the Queen. It was literally from sun up to sundown, and Queen was literally telling you, I have things to do, and you were getting pissed off about that. It's done, you know. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do because that's not my job. That's not what I do. I'm not going to tell somebody what to do. I'm going to suggest. All I do is win. There goes my
yeah,
phone again.
yeah. Basically, basically let Queen speak for herself instead of having one of us speak
Yeah,
for.
I'm just going to suggest that anybody that is in that room right now, that Dragon's in, to leave that room, to let Dragon end up talking to herself. Because honestly, when it comes to the grand scheme of things, I think she just talks to herself. regardless of anybody who's in there or before this or before we were doing the politically incorrect thing. I think, maybe Drag Queen, had a long conversation with herself from time to time to time. Like, she would talk to herself and answer herself. And she can be as pissed off as she wants. It finally came down to me being, and I have to have in my line of work, drag queen, I have to have a very, very long temper. A very long temper. I have to be sympathetic and empathetic. And I was trying hard to be sympathetic and empathetic. And I remember on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, while I was at work, I was trying to talk to some of my clients, but it was creeping up in my head of you just being a horrible human being. So when I got home from work, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And not that I can't do this anymore, it's I can't do this anymore with you, drag queen. It's you are the common denominator between any of the arguments that have ever happened in here. So please, again, and like I said, I'm going to end this in the next, 30 seconds to a minute. Remove yourself. Just leave. Have fun, with the rest of your life. I wish you a great life. But you really just need to go. I don't want you in here. There's a great many people that don't want you in here. And DG may be Switzerland, but I'm going to even go and I'm going to talk for DG. DG doesn't want you in here either. You know why? Because you cause problems. DG, I'm just going to say, would you rather have a very fun, room, or would you rather have a drama-filled?
Relaxing room, cause all this drama, it brings down everybody's energy.
Thank you very much. So I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say, Dragon, just leave. Do everybody a favor, and just go. Jason, I know you're still there, and you might not be able to talk loud, but if you can unmute yourself for 2 seconds and just say, hey man, I'm not going to tell you what to say, but I'm going to just say what you want to say. But if you can unmute yourself for a couple seconds, just say it, man. I know you're there. You might not be able to talk.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay. Wow. I just want a fun room where we can all talk, have fun, and not give me headaches whenever there's yelling.
You want it to be over.
Yeah, I just want to come back to a room where we can all just have fun. I can relax and just be myself and not have to be anything else and not have anything else forced on me.
That's what we deserve, Jason. That's what we deserve. You can be yourself again. I'm glad. Thank you for being able to at least get the time away to be able to whisper, at least. But we can hear you fine. So, Dragon, I'm pleading with you at this point. Just remove yourself from the room. I know you're watching right now. I'm looking down at the screen right now, and I see that there's one viewer, and I know it's you. You know, originally we had two
No,
viewers.
it's not. It's me. That's me who's watching.
Well, Dragon's gonna watch this. She might have been the other viewer earlier, and she's definitely going to. Now we have 0 viewers. So if you're still watching, I'm just saying that we're going to get more viewers after this, and I know Dragon's going to be one of them. And I'm just going to finish this on a plead. Leave the room, Dragon. Please. Nobody wants to deal with your nonsense. Nobody wants to deal with your nonsense. So leave the room. Leave it for good. You know, if somebody tries to add you back to the room, don't join the room. Just go away. That's where you need to be. You need to be gone. Nobody wants anything, and I'm not going to speak for 100% of all people, but I'm going to speak in the 90 percentile. That the 90 percentile of the people, they don't want you here anymore. You are a problem, so just go. Be an adult. You're 40, so just go. Be an adult and just go away. And anyway, this is Josh speaking for the politically incorrect people. I got my man DG in here. I got my man Jason. And I might do a second part of this tomorrow with my girl Queen. And I just want to say that I love you, everybody that's in here. Even though we are politically incorrect, I love everybody. So if anybody wants to,
I was gonna say, Jason, he typed in chat. He said, depending on wherever if Queen does do it tomorrow, he said he should be able to elaborate tomorrow when he's back home. Cause he said he has more to say.
I know that DJ, and I'm just trying to wrap things up. It's like when you have, it's kind of like somebody. I'm trying to be like a producer here and trying to roll things up, and I get you, DJ. Um, I'm gonna wrap it up right now, and I'm gonna say, you know, the dragon, you know, you should go, and you know, tomorrow when I get my queen in here, it's probably gonna be a second parter on your ass until you leave. Like, you literally need to leave. DG, do you have anything left to say before I go ahead and end this?
Nothing else.
Jason, whisperingly, do you have anything else to say?
No.
Apparently not. Let me give you about 15 more seconds. If you need to go into the bathroom, and you know, there you go.
No. No.
You're good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Until we got my queen in here tomorrow, and maybe Jason again, maybe DG, we might even get Neil in here. You know, it's down with the drag queen. The drag
Yeah.
queen's gotta leave.
Also, coffee probably neutral too on the situation.
She can be as neutral as she wants to be. she can be completely neutral. And if she still wants to talk to the drag queen, by all means, it goes like when Nighthawk had to go, and you still wanted to talk to Nighthawk. Nobody said, "Hey, DG, don't talk to Nighthawk." At least I know I didn't. I know I didn't want you bringing his drama into the room. It was like, if you still want to talk to him, go ahead, man. I can't tell you not to talk to another person, and I can't tell Coffee not to talk to Dragon. I wouldn't do that, and I couldn't do that, and I wouldn't do that. I would appreciate that if Coffee wants to talk to Drag Queen, that it's done privately and not in the middle of a all of our hangout, because I can say again, I'm to the 90 with the 90 percentile that we don't want her in there because she's the common denominator of many problems. So, on a just to finish it up, thank you again, Jason. I know you had just left. DG, I appreciate you being in here. I'm just glad that a couple of you guys were in here. And tomorrow, maybe we'll get Queen's version on what's been going on, because, like I said, I read 5 lines of what Dragon had said to Queen about, and they came off as just not only just borderline racist, they were definitely extremely prejudiced, but they came off as borderline racist, and I want to get not Coffee, but Queen's take on that. So, I'm going to sign off here in about 2 seconds. I want to say thank you for joining. Thumbs us up if you like the show. Share it. If you want to thumbs us down, go ahead. It's not going to hurt me. I'm, we're going to get views regardless. So thumbs us up, thumbs us down, share us. I still, regardless of what Dragon had said in her arbitrary decision of destroying the show, I still am holding this contest, and if somebody gives the best, and I'm talking about a really cool comment, then you're going to get a prize. It may be a hat, more than likely it's going to be a hat or something like that. It's going to be something nice. It might be a t-shirt, it might be a hat, but it's something you're going to really like. So, again, thumbs up. If you care, thumbs down. Just enjoy our conversation. And I know this particular show was a lot of me talking, and I don't want it to just be me talking. We're going to have much larger conversations with everybody else, but this is just part 1 of Drag Queen, Miss Dragon Slayer, whatever the fuck she wants to call herself. She needs to get spanked, and I wouldn't even use my hands thoughts on that disgusting, uh, you know, and I'm sure she has a dirty ass. So I'm going to finish up on that. DG, unmute yourself if you can.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that thank you for coming in here. And I think Jason, he was in here up until a minute ago because I was going to end it a minute ago, and I'm going to definitely end it now. I just want to say thank you for coming in and, helping me out with this. I would have been, like I said, more than happy to do it myself. But it's always nice to bounce a few ideas off of other people.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, I yawned while I was saying that. Thank you guys again. Thank you to the politically incorrect peoples, our fans that love to watch our shows regardless. So, thumbs up. Love you guys. And I'm ending it now. So I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have if you decide to ask a question in the comments. So you can also do that. Again, good night. Thank you, everybody. And in the immortal words of Edward R. Murrow, the CBS broadcaster in the early 60s, late 50s, who stood up against communism, who stood up against McCarthyism, he said good night and good luck. And I'm finishing this up with good night and good luck.